Yo, what is up, everybody? What is up? Welcome back to the channel. You already know who it is, y'all. It's LT DA GAWD, and today I am back. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I've been back since what, like Saturday night, I want to say. Yeah, since like Saturday night. You know, I've just been chilling, trying to get resituated. You know, get back to normal living. Along with that, you know, I've been going to work and whatnot. I got school going on for the summer. But enough of that, man. Enough of that. Back from my trip, as you all know, I was in Tennessee last week, man. As a matter of fact, let's see, we was in Tennessee, we was in Georgia, we was in both Carolinas, we was in West Virginia. Like, we had a nice little trip. I'm not gonna hold you up. It was nice. Went to a lot of places I ain't never been before. You know, we went to what was it? Hohenwald. We went to Jackson, Gatlinburg. This is in Tennessee. And then after that, we went to Sonoya, Georgia. We was Peachtree. And I don't know if y'all know, but if y'all watch The Walking Dead, which I do not, Sonoya is where they filmed the show. Like, we was actually not too far from the set of The Walking Dead. Like, we could actually see where they filmed the show at. Like, the shit was kind of crazy. And along with that, they had a bunch of like Walking Dead little fan shops and whatnot. Like, they had a Walking Dead cafe, which is it's pretty much The Walking Dead, but it's called Walking just because, you know, trademarks and shit like that. But they had a lot of like pictures of the cast, and the cast signed the pictures. It was real dope. I'm not even gonna hold you up. The cafe itself was real clean and real nice. I didn't necessarily get anything from the cafe. I'm not a big like coffee cappuccino drinker. I don't even be drinking tea like that. Like, if anything, I'll just have a water or some Gatorade, or maybe even an apple juice. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't drink those type of drinks that often. But I mean, everyone else wanted to stop. I was cool with that. I didn't mind that. You know, like I said before, I'm not the biggest Walking Dead fan. I don't even watch Walking Dead, but you know, I can appreciate, you know, the setting and all that was going on in Sonoya. All right, and along with that, after the cafe, we went to, they had a Walking Dead museum. You can buy a bunch of like souvenirs and whatnot. That was pretty dope. I was just looking around at some of the stuff they had. Bro, they had this bat wrapped around the barbed wire. I guess one of the like cast members be like hitting home runs with niggas' heads with that bitch. And like, I couldn't stop looking at it. I'm like, yo, this bitch is so cold. Like, all I want to do is hit a walk off real quick before we go home. But like I said though, it was cool to see all the like the little souvenirs and stuff that they had. They had like Monopoly, they had t-shirts and hats, you know, the usual. They had candy though, which kind of threw me off. I'm like, what the fuck? They had Walking Dead candy, and they had like Walking Dead collars for dogs and leashes. It was lit, bro. It was lit in there for sure. And see, after that we went to, yeah, we like the rest of the day we were just going around Georgia, hanging out, eating good ass food. Like, the whole week we ate so much good food, like going to restaurants, like not your typical fucking like Olive Garden or Applebee's or, you know, like franchise shit like that. We didn't go to none of that. We went to a lot of like homegrown restaurants, mom and pop shit, like restaurants that you can only find down there, just to get that authentic southern food. Like, we went to a lot of places like that. But one thing we did try to do in Georgia that we just could not do was we were trying to find some Georgia peaches, bro. We were driving around for hours on end trying to find some fucking peaches, bro. Come to find out, the peaches were not even in season yet. They weren't ripe. They were excuse me, they were still green. Like, bruh, we wasted so much time trying to find them damn peaches. But nonetheless, after that, we went to we drove to South Carolina. South Carolina was dope, bro. South Carolina was dope. for sure, man. We ended up in by Folly Beach, and bro, like that beach was magnificent, bro. If y'all don't know, at that beach, like it's on the coast is right by the ocean. So I was in the ocean swimming with the sharks and the fishes and shit, and it was cool, man. The water was salty as shit. Like every time I would go under the water and come up, it felt like I ate a McDonald's large fry with extra salt. Like it was so salty, bro. I couldn't feel my tongue because it was so damn salty, and it made my tongue numb. Like, but nonetheless, it was fun. Like the waves, like it was just coming. Waves was just coming, bro. It was just wave after wave. Like if I didn't know how to swim, I probably would have drowned. Put it that way. It was so many waves, bro. I don't know if any of y'all went to a wave pool, but bro, it was pretty much that, man. It was pretty much that, and it was cool though. I liked it a lot. We was there for like, well, we went there twice. We got there when we first drove to Folly. We got there at night, and we was just chilling on the beach at nighttime, like a good hour, just admiring the view. You know, the wind was picking up. It was real cool over there, mind you. Majority of the time we was in Folly, it was like 88, 90 degrees, bro. But came nighttime, it dropped down to like 65. So it was real cool by the ocean, bro. It was real cool. But yeah, when we were actually swimming though in the ocean, like in the afternoon the next day, like man, that sun was definitely brutal. I'll tell you that right now. I remember when me and my girl first came out of the ocean or whatnot, right? You know, we like, man, let's go chill out for a little bit on the beach, you know, lay down. You know, we got our beach towel and shit, chilling on the sand. The sand was scorching too. When I was walking in the sand, felt like I was walking on hot coals. You know what I'm saying? The sand was that hot. But anyways, so we got our beach towel laid out, you know, in the sun. My dumb ass did the dumbest thing ever. Why did I fall asleep under the sun, bro? I fell asleep like 2 times. I fell asleep laying on my back, and I fell asleep laying on my stomach. And guess what happened to me? I burnt to a motherfucking crisp, dog. Like, first of all, I didn't even know that could happen to me. Feel me? I did not know that could happen to me at all. Like, the whole time we was there, I was telling my girl and I was telling her family, like, they kept saying, Lord, you gonna put some sunscreen on? I'm like, bro, I'm black. Like, I'm not gonna get burnt. I'm good. I've been in this situation before. I've been in hotter weather for longer periods of time. My skin is fine. My skin is flawless. Like, it's not gonna burn. I'll be good. Wrong. Bro, I was so damn burnt after that day, bro. It was crazy because I remember as soon as I woke up, dog, I went back to the ocean, was swimming. And I kept telling my girl, I'm like, Amanda, like, yo, can you scratch my back? My shit itching like crazy. Come to find out, my shit was burnt to a crimp. And I didn't even know. I didn't know it was burnt. I didn't know what this felt like. All I know is my shit was itching, and I needed somebody to scratch it immediately, bro. But yeah, my skin definitely got burnt that day. It definitely got burnt. And before we left, I remember my girl was trying to tell me, like, yo, your skin is burnt. I mean, not my skin, but she said my nose is burnt. I'm like, what the fuck you talking about? My nose is not burnt. It's red. I'm like, bro, that's because of the reflection of the damn umbrella, bro. My shit is not burnt. Her mom said it was burnt. I was like, bro. Hopefully that's the only thing that's burnt, because ain't no way in hell the rest of my body is burnt. My shit itch, but it's not burnt. Hell no, bro. When we got back to the hotel that night, and I tried to lay down, yeah, it wasn't happening, bro. It wasn't happening, bro. And that shit sucked, bro. That shit sucked. And I think when we left the beach, I don't think we stayed in Folly. I think we left. We were like after the beach. After we got done at the beach, we pretty much were just heading back home. We were trying to drive back up to Michigan from South Carolina. Right after we left the beach, got something to eat. We started heading back up north. And I think we drove. Mind you, I'm in the car for hours on end. And my skin is burning. All of our skins were burning. My skin was burning. My girl's skin was burning. Her brother's skin, his shit was burnt, and his girlfriend's skin was burnt. Granted, their skin wasn't as burnt as me and my girls. Especially my girl. My girl got burnt the fuck up, bro. I felt bad for her because her shit was all red. It's red. All fuck. She could barely move. But when we got to the hotel that night, it was a GG, bro. That was like the worst I ever slept ever in life, bro. The worst. Like, I could not move because if I moved a certain way, yo, my junk was just burning. I was in excruciating pain. It was all bad, pretty much. It was all bad. So I didn't sleep that much in the hotel. Where else did we go? Oh yeah, we went to Charleston. We definitely checked out Charleston. I think, was that the day after? That was, I don't know. That was either the day of or the day after. We checked out Charleston, South Carolina. Yo, Charleston is like the oldest place down there. There's so many old buildings, but it's so nice too. It's so nice. Like, that's definitely a place I would not mind visiting again, along with Folly. I wouldn't mind visiting those places again because it's so nice. Like, the stuff out there looks so nice to me, and it's just so different. Just because I mean, I don't be out there that often, you know, so I can appreciate, you know, what it has to offer pretty much as far as like the history and yeah, Charleston was I think we did go to Charleston as soon as we left the beach. I think we did because Charleston is not that far from Folly. So I think we checked out Charleston for a little bit. Like, we didn't stop in any restaurants or anything like that. We just drove through, looked at some of the buildings, and we just continued to go back home. But Charleston is definitely like an older place, and it was nice, man. It really was. As far as like the older building, like, it was just so much. Like, if you were to go through that place, dog, it'll feel like you back in like the 1930s, 1940s type shit. That's how old those buildings look. They were all big, like they were all made of like brick buildings, bro. There was a lot of people down there too, just chilling, walking. I mean, there's a bunch of white people, don't get me wrong. I mean, I saw a few black people, so they, you know, I wasn't alone. You get what I'm saying? But it was a nice little old town, I'll tell you that. You know, if you around that area, you should. I mean, if you haven't already, definitely check out Charleston. Definitely check it out just to get a feel for some of the older buildings. But after that, I think we drove all the way to Charlotte for the night, and it was cool. I drove past, or at least we drove past the stadium where the Panthers play, and I was kind of upset because I couldn't get a picture of it. So it was pretty much a GG. Plus, I saw it kind of late, and it was a bunch of like trees on the freeway we was on. So like my friend was asking me if I got a picture because that's his favorite team. I couldn't even do it for him. But yeah, man. After Charlotte, I think the next morning we went straight to West Virginia. Why did we go to West Virginia? Because it was this place called Hillbilly Hotdogs, right? Hillbilly Hotdogs, the most redneck place I've ever been to. Well, let me not say that. The most redneck restaurant I've ever been to, for sure. I mean, if you guys can't tell by the name, they make hot dogs. They make pretty good fucking hot dogs. The hot dogs is magnificent, and it's not like normal hot dogs. They had okay, they had normal chili dog, but along with that, they had like my girl, she had a hot dog called a nacho dog or whatever. It was a bunch of like stuff from that you would normally put on a nacho, whether it be cheese, lettuce, all that shit, bro. Anything that goes on a nacho was on that damn hot dog. And they had another one that was full of chili and coleslaw. That was straight. I'm not a big coleslaw fan, but the hot dog wasn't that bad. I wouldn't buy it again probably, but nonetheless, it was decent. And I think her brother, he had like this fully loaded hot dog. It had like onion rings and shit on it. The hot dog was deep fried. It was crazy, bro, the amount of stuff they had and the amount of stuff they chose to do with a damn hot dog. But you know, I respected it. The food was good. for sure. That was probably one of the best chili dogs I had in a long time. You know, I give them props for that. And the restaurant itself is so dope. Like, outside of the restaurant, it's like, it looked like a fucking antique shop, in all honesty. You would never think that's a fucking restaurant, but it was like a bunch of old like knickknacks outside of the restaurant. And on the inside, like, we sat, like, where we ate, we literally sat inside of a fucking school bus, all right, with tables. I think what they literally took a fucking school bus, they took out the normal seats. I think they either took out the normal seats or they just rotated them and turned them and put a table in the middle, and that's where we ate. And it was a big ass air conditioner in the back that you couldn't control, and that boy was so cold. Like, if I would have stayed by the air conditioner, I probably would have froze to death. It was that cold. I would have been the ice block. It was that cold. It was cool. They allowed us to, like, you can write all over the bus. You can write all over the seats and tables and the windows. And, you know, I wrote a little something. You know what I'm saying? You know, for all my Michigan fans out there, you know, I wrote a little something for us. You know what I'm saying? I saw some Alabama fans out there too. You know, I had to do our due diligence and show love to our squad. And let's see, what else was cool about the Hollywood, the Hillbilly Hotdogs. There was actually an older couple there, right, renewing their vows. They had been married for like 70 years or 60 years, some long ass time, right? They came there, renewed their vows, and people were like taking pictures of it. I thought that was real dope too, because they literally had like the wedding chapel type shit on the side of the restaurant, bro. Like, it was like, they killed it, bro. I ain't gonna hold you up. They killed it. That was a dope little tourist spot. Probably the dopest and most unique that we were at on the whole trip, in all honesty. Alright. But yeah, after that, we pretty much just drove straight home. I mean, it was lit. We did a lot of driving, bro. Like, I think Amanda's brother said we drove 2,400 miles over the span of 5 days. Because, you know, I was going from Monday all the way to Friday night, pretty much. Monday morning all the way to Friday night. And, bro, it was a drive, man. It was definitely a drive. 2,400 miles. It was a drive. And in all honesty, I mean, I didn't even tell y'all everything. I told y'all a little bit of what happened. I didn't even tell y'all about the safari we went to in Tennessee. That was dope as hell. I didn't tell you about all the restaurants in particular. I can go into detail about all that stuff. You know, I'll tell you about the safari real quick. Okay, so while we were in Tennessee, all right, this was like this is the second night actually. We got to Tennessee the first night, but the second day we went to this like safari where you can like feed the animals and stuff. You can either walk through and feed the animals, or you can drive your car. We drove our car, right? And we got to feed like ostriches, zebras, llamas, camels, buffaloes, hogs, deer, goats. Like, we fed a lot of shit, bro. But man, some of them damn animals are not too friendly, bro. They'll come up to you, like, they give us buckets of food, right? And we in the car, they say, you know, put the bucket outside the car. You know, don't put your fingers or anything in the bucket, because the animals might eat them and shit. So you gotta be real careful. So I sort of got the animals notice, like, yo, these motherfuckers with these buckets, they can't hold on for shit. So what we gonna do is we gonna go in there head first, heavy as fuck, and take the bucket. And yo, a lot of the times, at least with the ladies, like my girl and her brother's girlfriend, like, you know, they had buckets. I had a bucket, and my girl's brother had a bucket. Girl's brother, he drove pretty much everywhere, so he wasn't really trying to use his bucket. But so yeah, the girls get the bucket, dog. I swear to God, they lost their bucket on the first animals we came up to, and those happened to be the zebras, bro. I ain't gonna lie, the zebras were rough. You know what I'm saying? They was a little overzealous with the bucket. I ain't gonna hold you up, but bro, there's no reason why they should have lost the bucket there. I think my girl Amanda, I think she lost her bucket there, and then as we continued on, you know, the ostriches, bro, the ostriches be on some other shit, man. First of all, ostriches, they look mean as hell anyways. So when I saw that, I'm like, yeah, I'm not even gonna feed you, because you just look like you trying to start some shit, and at any given moment you might say, like, fuck the bucket, what's in the car, and stick your head and start pecking that stuff. So anytime the ostrich came up to the car, I was like, nah, I'm good. But yo, her brother's girlfriend, bruh, she was letting the ostrich feed her, dog, and she started screaming because the ostrich was literally pecking at the bucket, and that shit, like I said, that shit was scary. Like, I couldn't do it, bruh. Like, I couldn't do it. I was watching, I'm like, yeah, you will not catch me doing that today, bruh. It's too risky, because at any given moment, the ostrich can miss the bucket and hit my arm, and I got a big chunk missing. I'm good, bro. I'm good. So she let the ostrich eat for a little bit. You know, we kept going. Came across some goddamn llamas, bro. Now, dog, I did not know llamas was like this. Alright, I thought llamas was friendly. You know, they come and go. But boy, was I wrong. Fed the llama, right? Kept eating. Greedy motherfucker. Tried to eat all the food in my bucket. I'm like, nah, son, get up. Get out of here. Roll the window up. Start driving off. Why is this nigga running with us, trying to catch back up to us so he can get some more food? He was literally galloping, and it ain't like we can drive fast. I think the speed limit was 5 in there, just because, you know, they don't want you to run over the animals. But my man was galloping with us, trying to get back to the motherfucking the car. I'm like, what are you doing? Get out of here. This ain't for you. This is not for you. My girl kept feeding them, you know, kept feeding the llamas, and it got to a point where the llamas was like, she'll pull back the bucket to stop the llama from eating, but the llama wasn't having it. My man's put his head in the car, like trying to eat out the bucket still, fooling him, bro. It got to a point where she had to roll up the goddamn window on this motherfucking neck just so he'll back off. Cause yo, them animals, they don't know when to quit, bro. They do not know when to quit. All right. But the llamas kept following us until it couldn't follow us no more. And we got to the deer. Now, it was a bunch of deer, dog. It was a bunch of deer. And y'all know how deer are. Like, if a deer sees somebody, they outie, right? They pretty much gone. But in this case, like, we came to the section with the deer, and immediately they all started looking at us like they knew what was up. Like, they could smell the food from the car. They all started coming. Whoa, it was just one in particular. He came over, you know. I served him some food, you know what I'm saying. You know, he was eating good that day. I don't think the animals had ate yet, because they ate a lot of my food and our food in general. They kept coming to the car. One more, but one of them came over. You know, I served him. Next thing you know, all his buddies come. I'm talking about 10s, 20s of them, right? We got, you know, grown-up deer, baby deer, goats. All of them coming to the car. They bum rushed the car, along with a few llamas. I don't know where these llamas kept coming from, but they kept ending up at the car somehow. All right, came over, started feeding them again. All of us, you know, Amanda's brother's girlfriend, she lost her bucket. So she took Amanda's brothers and started feeding the deer. Amanda feeding the deer. I'm feeding the deer. Out of nowhere, I hear a scream. What the hell did happen? Amanda done dropped the bucket this time. I'm like, bro, how are y'all dropping the bucket to these weak ass animals, bro? Now the deer was a lot weaker than the zebras. Okay, they were a lot. They wasn't as strong. Like, the zebras are strong as hell. The deer wasn't that strong. So I'm trying to figure out, how in the hell did you drop the bucket? Did you just get scared and just drop it? Because a lot of the problem was, on a lot of occasions, was we were trying to feed like the babies and stuff, and the babies, they kind of low to the ground compared to us. So we gotta literally reach out the car a little bit more to feed the babies. So maybe that's why the bucket fell out of Amanda's hands. I don't know. But I was like, bro, like, y'all, like, you literally dropped the bucket to some damn deer. Those deer strong. I don't give a damn. They babies. That should not be happening. Drop the bucket. So now we down to 2 buckets of food for the little ones, bro. And since she dropped the bucket, all the animals going to where she dropped the bucket at. Smashing. Smashing. No problem. Eating up all the food. And it was so funny because it was so many animals, bro. Like, they were literally surrounding our car. Like, we couldn't go nowhere. Like, it felt like they were trying to kill us, in all honesty. But when Amanda dropped that bucket and they all swung over there, GG, we was out, bro. We had to keep going because, bro, we were literally there for like 10-15 minutes just because we was stuck and couldn't move. Because some damn animals surrounded the car and said, you ain't going nowhere till you feed us all. So we got out of there. I think from there, what else did we run into? I think like majority of animals we kept running into was just llamas and ostriches, bro. I cannot kid you. Ostriches and llamas is all we kept running into, to a point where I literally saw a llama mixed with a rabbit, bro. A llama mixed with a rabbit. How does that happen? He was black too. He had buck teeth looking like Bugs Bunny. How does that happen, Sway? How do you get a llama mixed with a rabbit? How? That motherfucker though, that was a funny character. I ain't gonna hold you up. Just because my man's had buck teeth, like, you don't see that on a llama too often. But yeah, man, we kept running into llamas and fucking ostriches for majority of the time. We did see some buffalo though. We didn't feed the buffalo. We couldn't take the chance. You know, they got the horns. You know, that could mess up your car at any given moment, bro. We wasn't taking no chance. We was in a rental, so we was not taking no chances with them damn buffaloes. Eventually, we finally got to the grand finale, and that was the camels, bro. Now, these camels were huge. These camels were massive. These camels were the pack animals you see in like the Middle East, bro. That just carry stuff on top of stuff on top of stuff. They were so big. And they was mean, dog. They was mean as hell. Like, when we got to them, like, well, when we first pulled up, we pulled up to just one camel, right? You know, broke him off some food, whatnot. But this motherfucker was so adamant on eating, bro. He literally, like, Amanda's brother's girlfriend, she was feeding the camel, and out of nowhere, the camel took the bowl out of her hand, right? Lifted that bitch up and emptied all the food in his neck. Literally, all one motion. Grabbed the bucket with his mouth, lifted that bitch up, fed his neck. I'm like, how, Slay? I think it was a female too, so that makes sense why the motherfucker want to eat up all the food. That's what females do. But later on, or a few seconds later, we see the like the king mammal, dog. Like, this motherfucker was mammal, king camel, right? This motherfucker was huge, bro. His mane was absolutely gorgeous, bro. This fur on top of fur. The lumps was big as hell, looked like 2 big ass mountains on his back. He came over trying to get something to eat. He was cool. He was real gentle. Wasn't doing too much. You know, he ate out of the bucket like a normal animal should. He didn't try to take it. But out of nowhere, the other camel came around the car. Cause my girl was feeding the camel. And my girl and her brother's girlfriend, they on opposite sides of the car. So we'll say Amanda's on the left. Her brother's girlfriend is on the right with me. So yeah, the little camel, he ate all the food that was on the right. Big camel came up on the left, chilling. You know, real gentle, like, he's a real gentleman, dog. I respect him. But the other camel came around to the left side while Amanda was feeding them. Took the bowl right from Amanda. That's 2 bowls he done took, emptied into his neck. He was eating, well, he or she was eating good that day, I'll tell you that. Cause the motherfucker ate 2 full bowls of food, bro. Well, I can't say full, but majority of it was full, though. Like, I still had a good amount of food left over, just because I wasn't feeding all the, I wasn't letting the animals get greedy. But the camel ate 2 buckets of food, bro, no problem. Left the other camel high and dry, starving. His stomach was growling. He hadn't ate all day. That was his first chance of eating. This is like afternoon though, so he was trying to get his lunch. It wasn't happening. He was mad too. I could tell in his face. And that was pretty much the end of us being there in the little driving part. And as we're exiting, there's another car coming in, right? All their windows all rolled up. They ain't trying to feed no animal. But these camels, bro, it was 2 of them. I think a third one came over. I think it was like the cousin or something. I don't know. Third one came over. They surrounded the car, bro. Like the car had literally just came in. They surrounded that car so fast. I think they still there to this day. Cause them camels, they wasn't moving, bro. They was not moving. They was not giving up no space. They said you gotta feed us or just GG. You not getting out this place alive or ever. And I really do think the car is still there. We was there what, Tuesday? It's Wednesday or Thursday of next week. That car might still be there. I don't know what they did. But yeah, it's pretty much a GG. But yo, that's it for the trip, y'all. Like I said, I had a good ass time. I want to try to go on another trip sometime. Excuse me, sometime soon. I already talked to my girl about it. I think I might plan us a trip for Florida, just me and her. Cause me and her been beefing a lot. Cause I told her once I graduate college and everything, I'm moving to Florida. She's more than welcome to come. I told her she should anyways, but I don't know. She be wishy-washy on the Florida. She don't think Florida is that nice of a place. I'm telling her otherwise. So I already let her know, like, yeah, I want to try to plan us a trip to Florida. You know, stay out there for like a week or maybe just a few days, just to, you know, get away from home once again. Cause I enjoy being away from home, being away from the game for a good week. I don't go on trips that often, so any chance I get, I'm more than you know, I'm all for it pretty much. So I definitely told her I want to plan a trip for us to go to Florida, preferably Disney World and Universal Studios, because I think those are dope places. But we'll see what happens in the near future. All right, I really want to try to set that up. But yo, like I said before, I had a good ass time. I mean, if y'all got any questions about my trip or y'all want me to talk about some more stuff, feel free to let me know in the comments below. I don't mind, you know, giving y'all even more information. I gave y'all enough. This video is long as ever. It's probably the longest video I've ever done. Alright, I gave y'all more than enough info about the trip. But if y'all have any more questions y'all want to ask me about how things went, or if y'all want me to elaborate on something I talked about briefly, just let me know in the comments below. And I gotta put this little last bit in there. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button for me, please. Trying to grow out here, bro. Trying to expand. You know, I post all type of videos. I do 2K videos, NBA videos usually, but I don't mind, you know, just stepping outside of the box and doing a few different things. You know what I'm saying? You know, stuff like this. I don't mind doing stuff like that. So sub to the channel if you are new and you stayed for the whole time. You know, I really appreciate that. First and foremost, like the video if you haven't already, just to show some love and support to your boy. You know, I'm always very gracious of those who show love to me, and those who show love with me, I continue to show love back. And comment below what y'all think, man. Do y'all think it's funny I got burnt? Do y'all think it's funny the camel fed his neck? What y'all think, man? Let me know in the comments below. And yo, I'm out. I'll see y'all in the next video. Alright, peace.